Let's find out more about health risks under this scorching heat and how to prevent them with Baguio General Hospital Emergency Department Head, Dr. Camille Santa Cruz. Doc Camille, thank you so much for joining us. So tell us, why is spending long hours under the sun, especially under high temperatures between 40 to 45 degrees Celsius, dangerous for our health?
Actually, Rico, no, it's dangerous because our body constantly adjusts to thermoregulate. No? And of course, our bodies have means to keep it stable. Like we lose a lot of perspiration, our hearts beat faster, so that to increase the speed of circulation, to help the body release all this heat. So under constant heat, then you lose all those regulatory measures. So that's very dangerous.
So when you're under constant heat, Doc, we can get heat stroke, and this could be fatal?
Yes, sir. Very fatal. Actually, it starts off as muscle cramps. That's what we call heat cramps. Of course, some people, no, they have high tolerance to pain. They don't mind it. Ganyan. After the heat cramps, if you continue to lose water, no, from the body through perspiration, through your breath or respirations, you start becoming exhausted. So that's heat exhaustion. So that's the second level. And then if that's not controlled, eventually you lose all your thermoregulatory mechanisms of the body. You can end up being faint. You can lose consciousness. Your heartbeat can become erratic, no? And you can end up unconscious in the street if no one else is with you.
So Doc,
that's
heat stroke,
actually
heat
emergency.
exhaustion. What is the first aid needed for someone experiencing this?
Okay, first and foremost, if you start feeling exhausted from the heat, definitely you have to remove yourself from the source of heat. You stay in the shade. If you can if you can take hold of any fluid like water, definitely, or you try to quench your thirst, of course. Aside from that, if you start feeling dizzy, if you start having headaches, then ask for help, from anyone near you. If this happens at home, then stay in the coolest part of the house. If you can go to the bathroom, wash your face, or take a cool shower, that will help a lot. And if you start losing balance, start feeling dizzy, then call for help. Ask for emergency.
Doc? Doc, are you still connected with us? Doc?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Doc, as a follow-up to that, before we leave our homes, what should we always pack in our bags?
Okay. So, because the temperatures are rising, always have an umbrella with you. At least something to to put over your head, like a cap, a wide-brimmed hat. Take water with you if you can, and always refill as soon as you finish if there is a source of water nearby. And that's it. That's actually it. And stay in the shade.
All right, but for those of our kababayans like who you see on screen right now who are commuting, walking, yes, they have umbrellas, but of course, they also perspire a lot, right, Doc? And
That's true.
They would always like to get into a very cool place, maybe a mall or back in their offices where it's very cold. What if you're perspiring and you get into a location that is very cold? What could be the repercussions of that, on the other hand?
Actually, that's also not healthy because if you perspire and your shirt becomes wet, you lose more water that way. The tendency is from very hot to very cold. Your body won't have enough time to thermoregulate. So it's best also to to bring an extra shirt with you, just so you can change. Oo.
And at Baguio General Hospital, Doc, how many cases of heat stroke and heat exhaustion have you received so far, especially during this very, very hot and humid weather conditions?
Well, fortunately, sir, because Baguio is relatively in a high area, we haven't had any cases of heat stroke yet. We don't really expect to, to receive certain cases. But of course, it's always best to be prepared
But
if and whenever. Because the highest temperature right now here in Baguio is, I think, for a time it was at 27. That's midday, 27 degrees. And the coolest during this time, no, parang towards the summer na, is at 18. But, early part of this year, it was really cold. We went as low as 8 degrees Celsius. So, yeah.
You're in the perfect climate conditions, Doc. High of 27, low of 18. Perfect weather conditions in Baguio. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word, Baguio General Hospital Emergency Department Head Camille Santa Cruz. And you can get more health tips on MedTalk Health Talk, hosted by Dr. Freddy Gomez, with new episodes every Tuesday at 3:30 in the afternoon.